This morning, we're going to talk about the $5 Indian. Let me share a few things. So it's this thing called the $5 Indian, which these people got their kids on the docket roll for life so their children could get Native American benefits for life, right? Me and my cousin be arguing over this all the time. He thinks anybody who's is not African American is a $5 Indian. For y'all who didn't know, half of the people that think they're black in America are Native Americans, just a different tribe, darker tribe. If you notice, black people are not only dark skinned by default of infusing with white people. Without white people on the planet, we are the darkest and the lightest on the planet. What we will call African American dark people, the originals. We like to say the black man is God. um, so, with that being said, okay. So the Native Americans. We have two type of Native Americans. We have the Native Americans who gave themselves up and was shipped to these plantations. And these plantations are not the Native American land. These are the lands that the government sanctioned to give these people. And you have people who refuse to go to these reservations, who would be prisoners of war, who would be lied to. The children of these people will be lied to and told that they're from Africa and they're African American to hide the inheritance of Native American benefits from them. So with them basically setting up a table with armed men that would shoot and kill any real Native American to go down there. Anybody who had $5 could sign up to be a $5 Indian. Now, in our shaped American mind, we would think only white people would have $5 to go down there and become a $5 Indian. But it would be anybody. So if you was Mexican and you can go send your kids down there to go pay that $5 to put them on the docket roll to be Native American, people would do that. What's up with it? So I don't care if you was a free slave and you could go down there and sign your kid. If you was a black man, you could go down there and sign your kid on that Native American docket, and you was African, you would go down there and sign your kid on the Native. Anybody in their right mind would go down there and pay $5 to get their kids on the docket. So now we have all these people that are not Native American. We have all these people that are Native American who don't know they're Native American, aka black people. Right? So my cousin was trying to tell me the Mexicans, the Indians, Hindu Indians, and anybody who ain't black with nappy ass hair is basically a $5 Indian, which is not true. A $5 Indian is only somebody who had $5 who could go get their name on the docket roll for $5 for life for their kids, and the shit will never stop. So that's what a $5 Indian is. And then for the people who went to reservations, willingly experience horrors on the reservation where the boys would be sterilized, the women would marry white men, or be forced to marry white men, marry their teachers. Little girls would marry their teachers. White men would have 4 or 5 little Native American wives, and these little boys would be sterile with no wives. And I feel this is why the Native Americans who went to the reservation, who are not $5 Indians, who are on the docket roll, they're not getting paid for what happened to them. I feel like they're getting their benefits for the crimes that happen on the reservation. people being starved. So now let me put this in perspective. You have people that are not from your land come to your land, take over your land, tell you to go to a reservation. You've been living on this land your whole entire life, right? You've been living on this land your whole entire life, aka your house, right? So people come over, colonize you, take you over, say, okay, we're gonna put you on a reservation. So they're not providing food for the people on the reservation. They release the men, the Indians who know how to work the land and allow them to hunt. So there's time when men go out to hunt because they're starving and they want to eat and they want to make food, and the white man tells them, you need a license to fish. You see how we got licenses right now? This is how they told them, the people on their land, that now you can't fish. You need a license to fish. And to this day, we run around here looking like, acting like a driver's license is cool. And you're like, oh, you don't got a license, I got a license. When it's an insult to anybody who's Native American, who's from here, to have a license to do anything when you have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. And these people don't even have the right to be here. But they're here. They make you pledge allegiance. They make you believe in their God. They make you believe in all that shit. You know what I mean? So I started this channel to chop it up. We ain't on here. This nigga said, homie look like a Rottweiler. Yeah, your mama got pussy lips in her mouth. How about that? This ain't the channel to be funny on, because, you know, I will hurt somebody's feelings on here. You know, we can keep on going. We can go back and forth, play the games, but I'm trying to enlighten my people. But it seems like y'all too sleep to even worry about some real shit. So back to the $5 Indian. My people's on here talking about the $5 Indian as anybody with straight hair. I don't know if you clowning and popping in. Oh yeah, if they got straight hair and their hair is straight, they're $5 Indian. $5 Indian could be technically anybody. It could be technically, $5 Indian can be technically anybody. It could be a black person. It could be me. I could have been at that time and sent my son down there and said, go put our name on the dockets for life so we can get these benefits. So anybody who was a hustler, who was a scammer, who had some little bit of smarts and said, oh yeah, we're going to get this easy money, who had access to $5, went down there and put their kids on the docket roll. Like, you could have been your name on the docket roll to get benefits for life. Now, you could have been a cowboy with no family and put your name on there, and then when they had some kids, and now they got benefits for life. Now we got a whole generation of AKA African American black people. When they were like, oh, black people come from Africa. No, there was no place you couldn't go in the world without black people being there. The problem was they exterminated these people. But it still shows up. White people with curly hair, freckles on your face. So if I was all white and I had these black spots on my face, that's AKA melanin. Freckles is AKA melanin. They call them freckles because they don't want to call it melanin spots. Let you know your black side is kind of popping up, but you've been inbred so hard that your blackness won't come back up, but the freckles will pop up and just give you a hint of what you are. So for all my white people who have freckles in their face, I need you to go get your DNA test, and I pretty much could guarantee your African American or your black ancestry is going to be more than 15%. 15 to 10. So, you know, we have these $5 Indians. A lot of people who have these casinos, and you go look on the wall and like, damn, this is white people. How are they Native American? Some white people mixed. Some white people got prisoners of being Native Americans, and then the Native Americans didn't have the people be prisoners. You had to live with us and become our tribe and marry and have kids. So we do have Native Americans white people who become who have Native American blood that way. They got caught up, they got captured, they was alone. Native American tribe took them in, got them right, healed them, and then they probably was like, these people are so cool, I'm gonna stay with them and become honorary tribe members. This is a system, right? So, but you also have people who just sent their kids down to a table with armed guards, with guys with rifles, keeping the real Native Americans, aka who look like me, from going down there signing that table. Now you have these other Native Americans that have been wiped from the history, the book of history, which are black people who think they're black. Like my grandma used to tell us all the time when we was little, we're Native Americans that like to act like we black and like to act like we niggas when we not. So she used to tell us like, the black people problems, pretty much problems. Everybody that look like you ain't you. Somalians ain't Eritreans. There's a lot of people that look exactly alike. The Somalians and the Eritreans look similar. Somalians and Ethiopians look similar, but it's a different people, right? Native Americans. And then so now on the reservation, you have these Native Americans, the real Native Americans who wouldn't willingly lose their color and the texture in their hair. They started getting this long, straight hair. And these little girls are forced to marry these white men. The little girl forced to cut their hair. The boys are cutting their hair. They're making them cut their hair because they realize that power is in their hair. And they're not allowed to speak their language. AKA Black Americans. We have no language, no culture. Who's the biggest people? You could just say, well, what happens to the Black Americans? The American people took our language and our culture. The African people have a language and a culture. We the people with no language and no culture. So you can't take a people from somewhere, bring them to another place, and make them lose their language and their culture when people are still coming back and forth to Africa. Somebody from Africa can put their people up on game and then give them their language and their culture back. Why haven't African Americans in America got their language and their culture back when it's hundreds and hundreds of people here from Africa? Oh, maybe we not from Africa. Maybe we not African. Maybe we not black. Oh, there was something called a Blackfoot Indian. A lot of black people say we Blackfoot Indian. I'm Blackfoot Indian and Choctaw. So Blackfoot Indian, I think your feet had to be what we consider to be black, right? Blackfoot Indian, but I saw you only hear black people talk about that. But I've never heard like a light-skinned, straight-haired Native American Indian saying like he's Blackfoot. And then when I do, they tend to be like red-skinned with a dark tint to it. Still, look at my skin color, and that shit red, red than a motherfucker, my nigga. But they want to tell you you black. Big ass Native American nose. Put a little white in there, straighten up. You look at my kids, bro. They super light, and if that hair get long, it's gonna be straight. They look like Native American kids. So this $5 Indian shit. All, and then the Mexican people had their own struggle. So Mexico was a country full of other countries and other people, and they were colonized by the Spaniards, and then eventually colonized by the Mexican government to take over all these other countries and these other languages that they speak. And those people are still down there and they still exist. You know what I mean? So, and then the Mexicans have racism toward these other cultures that they took over, that they took their land and decided to call themselves Mexican. There's other people down there that been down there that look just like Mexican, and Mexican people come from them. They decide to call themselves that. And there's tons and tons and tons and tons of cultures and languages and people in Mexico that was caught when they decided to call the land one thing when it was all broken up and they had all these different systems with no boundaries. That shit only benefits the government that comes into play. You know what I mean? This is the wake up and wake and bake show. I started this shit because I be arguing with niggas and they don't want to listen, but I could just sit and talk to this camera and I don't got nobody to argue with. Y'all can jump in the comments and say whatever, and you know, I could respond to the comments calmly. I don't gotta have nobody talking over me. Y'all can comment whatever y'all want. I don't have to argue. I don't have to feel like I talk as long as I want. I can say whatever I want. I could just sit here and just talk to this screen, and y'all can comment, and we could just chop it up, and we can get deep. So now we got the concept of the $5 Indians. It's a person who went to a table and paid to get their children on the DACA roll for life. This could have been anybody. If Bigfoot said, go down there and put your name on the DACA roll, Bigfoot would be getting Native American benefits for life. If the monkey could go down there and dress up like a man, the monkey could have been getting Native American benefits for their life. If a real Native American black man came down there and tried to sign that and get his kids on the table, he would have been shot, killed, and hung. Do you understand what's going on? They have casinos. They got all type of shit. But then, okay, why we can't? I'm not hating on the people who are in position of Native Americans. Just know that the way that they look is through rape, force, colonization. This is why they look the way they look. It's why their hair is straight. It's why they was light skinned. It's like when a black dude go have a baby by a white person, the baby come out hella light skinned. It's what happens to the Native Americans, but not willingly. This is why they get their benefits. This is why they have their land. This is why they have their reservations. For what was done to them. It's like hush money. You don't hear, people don't like to talk about what was done to them and then highlight the bad shit. But if you meet some real ones, they'll tell you. Like I was at a Native American person's house in Humble, and I was like, respectfully, do you think before that first white person or colonizer or whoever the people came here to take over this shit, Spaniards, whatever, people that came over here to take over somebody else's shit, before they ever step foot on this land, do you think that you looked, your great grandmother looked a little bit my complexion or your complexion? And then once they came here, when we lived with these people, our complexions lightened up. And then he was like, I think we had a lot more color. Little, you know, it was like, you know, I think we lost our color with their presence, living with them, doing extra shit. And then I need y'all to go, don't listen to what I'm saying, just go do your research on the $5 Indian. I've been knowing about this shit. A lot of this shit that I be hearing, half the shit that I hear on the internet, half the shit I hear on the internet is basically, I've known and had conversations about these things. It was public information for me since 12 to 14 years old. I was infatuated with this shit and would go talk to anybody I could about these things. I'm saying from the preacher to the teacher to the gang member to the killer to the dope dealer to the drunk guy at the store to the speaker that comes to the school, if I can catch him on the side and then hit him with a couple questions, to the rabbi that used to come to my school that I used to chill with in Seattle. the Jewish dude, I'm asking him questions 14, 13 years old before we had access to the internet. Before I had access to the internet, this shit was public information in circles and conversation. Now y'all got the internet, and a lot of this shit that's on the internet is, how I will say, a lot of this concepts and um, conscious information on the internet is outdated. Everything about Illuminati is outdated. Anything you hear somebody talking about Illuminati is outdated. Um, what's the dude? Billy Carson's talking about though. His information is outdated. They light years past what the fuck he talking about. If they let that nigga get on the internet and talk about the shit he talking about, they got some shit that's so advanced that nobody don't even know about it to talk about it. We don't even have a concept of the advancedness of the stuff that we have. Like when people be like, oh, the people a long time ago were way more advanced than us. Yeah, they were, and they didn't give, and nobody knew about the shit that they was doing. Let's say that. There was people that was advanced that probably had, different ways to do the same shit that we doing without polluting the earth. But there was people that was super advanced back then, but nobody knew about the shit or could even have a concept about what they were doing. And we're the same way right now. In this day and age, it's shit that we don't know about and don't even have a concept to grasp about, that our government is advanced and they're hiding it from us. And then guess what? The good part is 10, 20, 40 years from now, all this advanced shit that they got, you're going to be able to buy at the 7-Eleven. Down there, be able to go get a portal at the 7-Eleven and stick your hand through a portal and mail somebody something. You'll be able to go probably do some shit like that at 7-Eleven 40 years from now. But portal is far-fetched. Somebody talking about a portal, but it's going to be 7-Eleven trash technology 40 years from now. They're going to be done with it and be like, oh yeah, we could sell it to them. So just know that you got to wake up, look around, and just know we're being manipulated. So everybody got to get up, got to go get to some bag, go get to some money. But the concept is, if we was working together with us, we would be a richer people. But we not working with us. We separated, we divided, and we work for them. If you in your neighborhood and your neighbor got together and said, okay, we're gonna go figure out how to get this back together, the neighborhood would thrive. Y'all would be able to pay all, y'all wouldn't struggle as a people. Y'all would be a rich community. But we divided. Me and my neighbor could work the same job. We ain't putting the money together. The illest shit I'ma say before I get off this and start my next segment is, for the young niggas, I don't care if you fucking work at Subway and you got a co-worker that work at Subway and y'all niggas is both getting the same check. Y'all niggas need to put y'all money together. I don't care if it's $800. $800 a week is $1,400 a week. Y'all put y'all money together and build something. Everybody is separated. Everybody is on their own focus, their own grind. They want somebody else to support their shit, but they don't want to support nobody else's shit. I be feeling like my mind runs so fast. I don't even have nobody to talk to on this level. So it's like when my cousin hit me with the shit, like, bro, you need to do the videos and get deep on them. So you don't got to be arguing with nobody. You could just sit there and talk to the camera and talk to yourself as long as you want to. Can't nobody be like, this nigga be talking too much. Cause it's your show channel. And I got a lot of shit to tell you niggas. But see, and then my problem is, it's 100 million channels, West Coast base, East Coast base, down South base. And the only thing that these niggas cover is the first thing they want to get on here and tell you about their set and what somebody did in their set. Bro, we don't need to be getting on YouTube promoting that, getting views on that, even to catapult your shit. I sit up here and talk about this deep shit right here and won't get no views, right? Nobody don't want to think. Don't nobody want to think. Everybody want to be drones. Everybody want to be cool. Everybody want to be cool if you give. What's up, bro?